Hi, I'm Courtney Peters. Welcome to Into the Spectrum. Today we're going to talk about what is autism. Autism is a pervasive developmental disorder. Wow, that really cleared it up, right? No wonder we're all confused. Well, the doctors actually, either a developmental pediatrician, psychiatrist, psychologist, or a neurologist, are the people that you're going to go to, and they're looking in the DSM-5. And so what they're going to look at and what it states in there is that autism is characterized by three different things. It's characterized by a communication deficit, a socialization deficit, and a behavior area, which is a restrictive or repetitive behavior and mannerisms. And so what they're going to do is conduct some tests or assessments that are going to tell them, do they have those characteristics? And if they have those characteristics, then they're given that diagnosis of autism. So what do those three things actually mean? When I say a deficit in communication, when you're looking at a classroom and you're looking at everybody, what are they doing? What behaviors are they doing? What language are they using? So when you're talking about communication, if they're not using the same language, if it's at a lower level, that could be a deficit in communication. So it could be that somebody's not talking yet when somebody starts saying words. So if somebody starts saying baba, mama, and the child that you're looking at isn't saying those, that could be a deficit in communication. If you're looking at even a higher level, it could just be not using some correct prepositions yet, or being able to follow those instructions and then understanding of the language. So that's a deficit in communication or language. Now let's look at socialization. So when you're bringing up a deficit in socialization, what are we talking about? Again, if you're looking at that classroom, what's everybody doing? So socialization, one of the most basic ones is you're looking at that eye contact, and that's something social. So are they giving that eye contact? Are they playing as they should be playing with somebody else? So if they're not, that could be a deficit in socialization. So now let's talk about the third one, the behavior one. So you're talking about those restrictive and repetitive behaviors. So those repetitive behaviors can be hand flapping or jumping, something that you're doing over and over, repetitive. Could be lining things up. That restrictive behavior could be things like flexibility, or you're very focused on time. And when that doesn't go your way, or you don't do it exactly how you want to do it, you get very upset. So those are some examples of the behavior, restrictive and repetitive. And so what makes an autism diagnosis is when you have all three of those together. So when you have that deficit in communication, deficit in socialization, and that restrictive, repetitive behavior, then you might have that autism diagnosis. And so what also is tricky about this is that it's subjective. One doctor can give a diagnosis of autism, and the other one, they might not give that diagnosis, because how are you even testing it? You're looking at these behaviors, you're looking at what they're doing, and you're not giving a blood test, or you're not looking at the brain, or at least not yet. And so it actually is subjective. You're just looking at what's going on and what's going on around you. And sometimes it's just in an office. It might not be at the home setting where some of these things are happening. So that's why it actually could be pretty hard to give that diagnosis. When you're looking into the spectrum, when you're looking into the spectrum, there's this huge array of people. For example, Asperger's. They used to be in their own category, but now the DSM-5 put them under this umbrella, autism spectrum disorder. And they have good language skills, but have deficits in socialization and those restrictive and repetitive behaviors. So that's what makes it so hard for everybody to say, what is autism? So if you have any other comments or questions, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. My picture's up there. And there's also been a video picked out for you based on your last videos that you've liked up there. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.